Let's look at the ways in which solving two-step inequalities are similar and different than solving two-step equations. So let's look at number one. And again, we're going to look at it, we're going to solve it basically the same way as a two-step equation. And the way that I like to do it is I like to use order of operations GEMMA, which is groupings, including parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, addition or subtraction. And I work backwards from there. So now I'm going to first look to see if there's any addition or subtraction that I can undo. And I see that I'm adding 5. Remember, our goal is to isolate the variable. So how am I going to undo the addition of 5? I'm going to subtract 5. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Okay, and this cancels out. And I am left with negative 4c is greater than 32. Now, if you look, the coefficient of c, the thing that I'm going to have to divide both sides of the inequality by, is a negative number. When you multiply or divide both sides of an inequality by a negative number, you are going to have to flip the inequality sign. So once I divide both sides by negative 4 to isolate my variable, my inequality is going to become an is less than instead of is greater than. So how's that going to happen? We're going to cancel out the negative 4. We're going to be left with c. And again, because I divided by a negative, c is less than. And 32 divided by negative 4 would be negative 8. Okay, so I did my addition and then I undid my multiplication. Now, it's especially important to check when you have a negative number, because you do have to remember to flip the inequality, and your check is going to catch any mistakes that you make. So let's check. And I have my original inequality, negative 4c plus 5 is greater than 37. Okay, now if my c value has to be less than negative 8, I'm going to make it easy on myself. I'm going to make c be negative 10. Okay, and again, when you do the check, you want to substitute into the original inequality. So what am I going to do? I'm going to substitute. So I have negative 4 times negative 10 plus 5 is greater than 37. Negative 4 times negative 10 would be a positive 40, plus 5 is greater than 37. 45 is greater than 37, and that does check out. So I know that I am correct. Okay, let's look at one with some division. Okay, same thing. I'm going to do my order of operations, and you can use whatever method you like to remind yourself about order of operations. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look for any addition or subtraction. Well, I'm subtracting 10, so I need to get rid of that because it's just a distraction. How am I going to do that? By adding 10 to both sides. This will cancel out, and I am left with n over 2 is less than or equal to 25. Now, what am I looking for? I've done the addition. Now I'm looking for division or multiplication, and I see I have division. So how am I going to undo? This is actually dividing by 2, right? N over 2 is n divided by 2. So I'm going to then multiply by 2, and I have to multiply this side by 2. Now, in this inequality, I'm not dealing with a negative coefficient. I'm not dividing by -2. I'm dividing the variable by 2. So the inequality sign stays in the same direction. My 2's cancel out, and I am left with n is less than or equal to 25 times 2, which would be 50. Now, let's check our inequality. Obviously, for these, we don't have to go through any exponents or groupings. So, let's do the check. Into the original inequality, n over 2 minus 10 is less than or equal to 15. And since n has to be less than or equal to 50, let's say n is 4. Okay, so let's do 4 over 2 minus 10 is less than or equal to 15. That's looking good already. So we have 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 minus 10 is less than or equal to 15. And 2 minus 10 would be -8. And that is obviously less than or equal to 15. So my inequality checks out